thing has happened in the motorsports world. It's a NASCAR topic, so I'm already uncomfortable. It's NASCAR. I mean, the most overrated sports organization in the world. I mean, for some reason, America thinks these are the NFL level players of racing in America, and it's just not true. It's just not true. There's no facts or reasoning you can give me to definitively make that statement or say that in any form or fashion of way. But for some reason, the 42 car in NASCAR is causing a lot of issues in the racial department. Unfortunately, Noah Gragson, who drives the Legacy Motorsports or Motor Club, they're not even calling it Motorsports. It's a club, that's for sure. This is one big club, and you're not in it type situation. That's what NASCAR's about. Gragson or whatever has been suspended effective immediately regarding his actions that do not represent the values of our team. Josh Berry will now drive the 42 entry for this weekend's NASCAR Cup Series race at Michigan. This is effective immediately. Now, what did Noah Gragson do? Did he sim race like the previous 42 guy who got caught doing something racially inappropriate and let the N-word slip in I guess, a cultural acceptive way in the underground societies of white America? I don't know who watched my post Larson video when I talked about it. It was like, we're so culturally separated that there's so many different terms that each culture is using that is not deemed the same as the previous meanings that the same word may have been utilized before. Kind of like, that's tight. You know, some people may think that that's tight might mean like, oh, well, the screw is really tight onto the, carriage. No, that's tight means like, oh, that's clean. That's cool. Uses of the N-word. I hear in the white culture, like rappers say the N-word all the time. It's fine. No, the difference between the ER and the A, if you hear a black guy call a black guy the N-word with the ER, somebody's probably about to get into a fight. It maybe someone's going to get stabbed somewhere along those lines. So that's not true at all. But then there is the N-word that I hear being used in the underground communities of the white culture, that they're using it, but it doesn't mean to describe, the traditional negatives that the N-word with the ER was meant to use. It's more so being used as, this person did me wrong, or this person did that, or this or the other, and I don't like him. He N-worded me. Kind of the same. He fucked me over. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even relate to what color, but it is still used in the traditional derogatory ER version way. Even though both ways these words are being used right now in these subcultured ways are pretty much. I would say that the way the underground white culture is using it is still wrong. Just because I view it as disrespectful. But pretty much both ways these two subcultures are using this word do not mean what the original word and the original meaning and the original labeling that original word was created on. But regardless of that entire scenario in that department, this is a little bit different on what happened to Noah Gragson. Now, it is still racially inappropriate. Bob Pockris put a post up about it on Twitter. I went in here and said the number 42 hasn't served NASCAR drivers well when it comes to getting caught in these types of scenarios, or in this type of scenario. You go down here and you see this guy who says, for what? What, did I miss something? What happened? Show reply. So apparently Noah Gragson went and liked this internet meme that says because everybody knows of the Little Mermaid video that says under the sea, under the sea. So it's a crab with George Floyd's face on it that says under the knee, under the knee. And Noah Gragson liked that image on, it looks like, Instagram. And due to the fact that he liked this image, under the knee, he has been suspended from a ride indefinitely. I don't really see effective immediately. Made the decision to suspend. It doesn't say indefinitely. Sorry about that. It does say suspended, though. It is over this meme that he liked. Now, some people say that is fucking hilarious. Some people are saying it is the meme that got him in trouble. Yep. Who cares? It's a damn internet meme. I saw a bunch of people saying George Floyd was a piece of shit, drugs, and all this. I could see how some people would find this funny. I could see how some people would see this. There's probably people watching this right now laughing like, "Oh my god, that's hilarious," under the knee. Because socially, uh, in one spectrum, George Floyd was cherished and respected. In other spectrums, people were like making fun of it. They were making fun of it because media took this scenario and made it one side versus another side. They used all different types of things to create a scenario that was divisive. Obviously, this spurred a lot of Black Lives Matter situations. This spurred a lot of destruction of major cities. A lot of people did not like that. A lot of people stood with George Floyd as far as police abuse. I think that's kind of an interesting situation. You know, the guard dogs to the system that we all are within are is the police force. Honestly, if and not only the guard dogs for the system, but the guard dogs for us. You know, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, you have to recognize how powerful the police force actually is. So, for instance, if something was to happen in the world and the politicians wanted to enforce law onto the country, that everyone, typically all of us in society, saw as wrong. Let's say a tyrant got in there and a tyrant wants to enforce this law or this rule onto the general population of society. Say all these politicians got together, they all turned evil. It's demons running the world. The people to enforce that law are the police. So if the police choose not to enforce that law, then it cannot be enforced. The tyrant cannot control. And I think that's where the little line of protect and serve comes in. Now, in the same light, a corrupt police force can be used to inflict that tyrant's law. But I do not believe that, just like people of all colors, just like men, women, everybody, not everybody is bad. There are good people of all shades. That even encompasses blue in the police force. There are some negatives and there are some goods. Now, funny thing about this George Floyd thing that really, perked my ear was like, well, I think pretty much all people could agree that police sometimes, use excessive force. And this could have been a situation where we really did some reform within the police force, because there are some things that the police are doing wrong at times, and they haven't really had their P's and Q's checked on it in quite some time. I mean, it's easier to get into the police force than it is to become a hairstylist in some states. That's insane. That shouldn't be the case. There should be a little bit more of a vetting training process to be able to legally kill people, like what happened here. But it seems like some people out there supported more of a divisive role and decided to turn it political. And that political divide made it to where no actions or justice was actually made into the future. So I think that was a very interesting, or is a very interesting way to look at the George Floyd situation and all the riots and the things and the spinnings and the way the politicians used it. It was a way to distract from the actual core issue and the actual power of the country, which is the police force. If it gets too out of hand and everybody just says, fuck the police, that's when the police system will develop angst and remorse and anger, and they may listen to the powers that be, because the powers that be are the only ones that are going to support them, and that's going to lead to more of a tyrannical person coming in and being their saving grace, and also being their leader of those guard dogs and manipulating them in that way. So we have to respect the police force. We have to understand that there are some good things about the police force, but there are also issues that should be handled correctly. But distractions like this and the divide that was created on the back of the George Floyd incident. The George Floyd incident was fucked. That was bullshit. But everything that happened around it basically masks the actual problem that never kind of got settled or figured out. Defund the police is bullshit. All these other solutions were bullshit. The actual hardcore values and issues that could have been made from this all got smothered by the political stances and the sides that were divided. Whether Noah Gragson liking this was right or wrong, it is just an internet meme that caters to a particular political side of society, but that is why this is an internet meme. It's all spurred by the distraction of the show known as politics. The actual scenario of a man being killed through police abuse, whether he was under drugs or whatever, it's not worth making fun of. This meme in itself is simply a result of the reaction and the phases taken to potentially make it to where there is no change, and those who are in power and control continuously stay in that power and control, and the solutions that could be on the table were taken out in exchange for funny memes to play political sides and social interactions and social sides. That way, we never talk to one another. We never interact. We just watch the TV screens and the social medias, and that's how we communicate with different cultures. It's not through actual interaction, which is why when they did the Chaz in Seattle, I went up there and walked into the Chaz with what I think and everything, and everybody was pretty much normal people, not what the television and the social media is going to tell you. But regardless, very interesting scenario here. Noah Gragson suspended for liking under the knee of George Floyd. So that's what I think of the whole entire scenario. What do y'all think? Crazy, weird, interesting, dumb? The number 42 car. Bad juju for people, apparently, in these scenarios. But I guess it's sometimes going to happen. But anyways, maybe we can all learn from it. Maybe I need to talk about this. Maybe this needs to be out there just a little bit. And that's why this whole scenario occurred. That's how I got to take it. Everything happens for a reason, right? So, anyways. As always, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to subscribe. By the way, I didn't like that meme. Is it funny? Absolutely not. How disgusting. That's how the politicians act. Catch you next time, ladies and gentlemen.
This is how we ride. This is how we do.